Hold on. Sorry, I need to confirm something. Did you say my visa has been approved? Yes. Congratulations. I was like, yeah! Sometime in 2022, I was invited to come to Spain to speak and talk about my experience living with the Parkinson's disease. When 2023 came, which was the year that the conference was supposed to hold, it got to a point that now you need to get your visa. It's 3 months to the event. I'm making this video because I sought for this information on the internet. I wish someone could just make a video telling me the experience of how they were refused the visa and how they finally got one. So I went through the process of applying a visa. I didn't use an agent, and I chose a tourist visa because in their website, there were options for checklists for conference visa. But when you go to book an appointment, you won't see the option to book appointment for conference visa. So being a novice, I wasn't fully knowledgeable of what to do right and what not to do right. So I applied, gathered all the necessary document as I thought in my head was correct, and booked my appointment. Then went straight to the embassy. No, I went straight to the BLS visa application center because in Lagos here you have a BLS application center. When you submit your application there, then they'll move it down to the mission or embassy where your visa will be reviewed and you get a feedback. So I applied though, my dear. And 9 days after, was it 9 days or 11 days after? I applied on the 9th, and on the 21st, which was on the Sundays, I was called by the courier service that they need to give me my passport and all that. So when I got the passport, I was so eager and anxious to get it open. I opened this thing. while I was busy searching the document, my husband was like, flipping my passport, like, he was like, I didn't see any stamp on it. Your passport wasn't stamped. I was like, I showed him the paper, see, you've been refused the visa. Hey, the emotion that ran through me. Will I say I was disappointed, or will I say I expected it? It was a bit of a mixed feeling. I would say I expected it somehow. I would say I was disappointed somehow. I would say I was heartbroken. The feeling, I had mixed feeling. I felt everything and anything. On the letter, it stated that you could appeal. I took straight to YouTube. Like, let me just find information. I took straight to Google. Can I find any information of somebody who has been refused visa? What did they do? What did they do? So I searched the whole of YouTube. I didn't get anything meaningful. It was just one lady talking about that she was refused visa and she just reapplied. And the other one wrote a blog post that this was what she did. She appealed. She got all her documents straight and appealed. The process of appealing wasn't clear for me because there are so many processes which I don't quite understand. And thinking about the appeal gave me a lot of anxiety, so I couldn't push myself to even be optimistic that this was going to work. My boss now said, okay, let's try reapplication. So when we now tried the application, she now said, okay, maybe we should try using some agents to do this reapplication. I went ahead to search for agents. So I got 3 agents that actually work on visa stuff on the internet. So I called the first one. The first one was like, hello. I told her my ordeal that I need a visa. Do they offer these services and all that? The first question she asked me was, are you a first-time traveler? Do you have travel history? I said, no, this is my first time traveling internationally. She was like, there's nothing we can do for you. You don't have a chance. You need at least 2 travel history to get a visa. I was like, my God. Like, that the person that answered the call just died my hope. Like, we cannot help it. She didn't even get to listen. Okay, let me hear your story, or let me hear. I called the second person. Those ones did not even respond. They were like, we are closed for the day. Check us back tomorrow. And I called the third person. The third person I called actually responded and said, okay, yes, you have a chance to apply. Like, if you get your documents right, you have a chance to apply. I needed a bit of hope, a tiny bit of hope, to just push me and spur me to want to reapply for this visa, because I'd already given up. My first invitation to come and speak, my first invitation to go outside this the shores of this country. My first invitation to go see the international space. I never dreamt of it, and this is me wanting to go out internationally, and my dreams were shattered. That was not even the main part of it. The main part of it is that I went to book another appointment on the PLS Spain site, and it kept on turning me down because it said my passport has been logged into their system and that my visa is under processing. Which visa? The visa they've given me my passport back is under processing. I don't understand why they would say that. I tried it for 5 straight days. I kept on morning, afternoon, night. I kept on checking if this system could just accept my passport number. Anytime I finish booking the appointment, it will bounce back and tell me, sorry, your passport number has done a request for a visa, so you can apply again at the moment. So I thought to myself, what should I do now? So I called their customer care, and one thing led to one thing. I met someone who was able to book the appointment for me. The appointment was now booked. It was now time to gather the right documents. This time around, I decided to go with business visa, and it was time to gather documents. I was supposed to get a letter from the inviting organization written in Spanish. So the Spanish organization in Spain should write me a letter. The organization that was actually inviting me was based in New York, and now they're telling me to get a letter from Spain. So I was like, how am I going to do this? So we told the inviting organization, they were like, okay, we have a partner organization that is coordinating some things for us in Spain. So we'll tell them to walk this through. One of the requirements is that you'll be couriered the letter. You will receive the letter as a paper document and go with it to the visa application center to submit. And they will also send the embassy an email through their email address. The reason for denying me visa was that they couldn't justify the reason for stay, that the reason I gave them wasn't reliable. So I didn't get any new document aside from the one I've gathered. I gathered my travel insurance, my flight tickets, my hotel bookings. All those things were already in the first documents I submitted. So the only documents I needed to work on that made my reason for stay not justifiable was because I didn't get a letter from a Spanish organization inviting me for the event. I was able to sort that out with the help of my boss and a lot of people. I had it, but I wasn't convinced I was going to get this visa. I went to the interview without feeling it. I was like, if it works, so fine. If it doesn't work, I'm okay with it though. But I'm not going to break my neck because of this thing again. I'm not going to put all my emotion and my energy into it. I'm not going to let it cause me not to sleep. That the first time I had to put my heart and everything, but this time around, I'm just going to leave it to be. Anything that happens, fine. If it doesn't happen, okay. But from my own standpoint, because the first application I did, I didn't put a sworn affidavit. I think every visa application now, you will need a sworn affidavit to state that what you are saying is true, so that when they want to fire you, they will have something to lay their hands and say you have defaulted their laws. So I went and did sworn affidavit. These are the 2 separate documents that were not in the first document. But every other thing in the first visa I applied for were the same. So I just added these 2 documents and went back, did the application. The guy that was attending to me was like, are you a Christian? I said, yes. He said, pray. You've done all you could. So he sorted my documents, because the first time I went, the lady that attended to me didn't sort my documents. She just asked me which one is the original, which one is the photocopy. She just kept it like that, and that was it. But this time around, this guy took time. So that my document told me, which one do you want? Which one do you want? Which one do you want to come back to you? So he was asking me questions. He was able to attend to me calmly and told me that the only thing I can do now is to pray. I said, okay, let's pray. I just sat there quietly and said, God, if it's your will, let it happen. I've done the one I can do like a human being I am. But if it's not your will, I'm okay with anything that comes out of this visa application. I came back that day and went back to my business. And time passed. There was also another people that wanted to go for the event. So they also applied. They applied within the same time and they got a refusal. And the same reason I was giving was the same reason they were giving. When they got their own response from the visa embassy, I was like, why haven't I gotten my response? Now I started feeling anxious. I was like, what is happening? So this is happening again. I'm getting a second time refusal. That was when I now started hearing stories of people that This person said I was refused visa 4 times. This one said I was refused visa 3 times. I said, oh, so this is, if this thing can happen to people that have traveled like 10,000 times in their lifetime, how is my own any different than just traveling as a first-time traveler? So I waited. My outbound flight to Spain. The date was coming close and I didn't know what to do next. As in, like, it was just 5 days away from the day I was supposed to fly out. And the hotel bookings, they've already deducted their money. So if I even want to cancel the hotel, I cannot cancel again. Flight, I actually had like 24 hours before the flight date to cancel because my flight was already paid for by the organization that was inviting me. I didn't know what to do. So this is what I did. I checked my visa status. I tracked my application and I was like, okay, let me track this application and see what it looks like. Because they gave me a photocopy of my data page on my passport and they kept a little sheet on it that had some numbers I was and track my application. So I tracked this application and saw that my passport has left the mission going back to BLS Spain application center. And I said, okay, it has left mission, it's going back. So I now called them and said, explain my ordeal to them. They were like, so this is what will happen. If you get a call from us, it means your visa has been approved. But if you don't hear from us after today, because as we tracked your application, this is the status, it's going to come into our place today. But if you get a call from us, your visa has been approved. If you don't get a call from us, so sorry, we cannot help you. I was like, okay. So I was like, my phone was just like this. I was like, any call that go. I was like, I told my daughter, don't put my phone on because she uses my phone to record her video. I told her, don't put my phone on. Do not disturb again. I need to answer every call coming into this phone. So around 4 p.m. that day, because the window of time to call BLS Spain Application Center is 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Within that 3 hours window, if you don't call them, you can't call them again. When it was 3 minutes to 4, so I was like, I picked up my phone. I wanted to call. My call kept bouncing back, and few minutes past 4, I got a call. I was like, my heart started racing and all that. And I was like, I picked the call. I was like, hello? Said, okay, am I on to, the person called my name. I was like, am I on to this person? I said, yes. It was like, am I on to this person? I want to speak with you. And this so person called my name. And I said, okay, this is she. And he was like, your visa has been approved. When do you want to come and pick up your passport? And I asked him, I said, please, could you advise me? I was like, if we give it to the courier person, it's going to take time, given that your travel date is already near. But if you come pick it yourself, you'll be on track with your travel dates. And at that point, I was like, it dawned on me. I was like, hold on. Sorry, I need to confirm something. Did you say my visa? Did you say my visa has been approved? He said yes. Congratulations. I was like, yeah. I was so happy. I was like, I couldn't contain my joy. I was so happy. I wanted to jump off the chair. I was sitting there because I was actually working at the time. And I was so happy. And I was like, yes, you're supposed to be happy because this is a virgin passport. My passport had never been stamped, not in this life, not in another life. So that was a clean passport. I had never gone to any country. That was my first time getting a visa stamped on my passport, which is quite exhilarating. Did I pronounce that English well? which is quite. What is the English? Please give me the English. which was quite amazing. And now, when I took time to sit back and reminisce on all the no's I got, all the disapproval I got, and all the this is not going to work I got, both in my head, both from people around, and I thought about it, I was like, man, you gotta push yourself. If you don't do it, nobody's gonna do it for you, because sometimes things will happen to us, and in our head, we've already killed ourselves. We have to give ourselves the head space to be able to try again, even when we fail. get up and still try again. So I'm so glad I finally got my visa, even as a first-time traveler, even as someone that doesn't have any travel history, because someone else actually got his and it was rubbing it on my face that, I have a lot of travel history. Yes, that's why they gave me the visa. I was like, oh my God, what should I do now? I couldn't brag about these things. This is just an opportunity to travel. It's not something to come and start breaking your head over. I don't know why somebody should brag with, because his visa was stamped and mine wasn't stamped. But that didn't give me a problem. I know how to handle such people. So I was so glad. So if you're having difficulties, you want to know more about in detail, so that you can just leave a comment in the comment section. I know this will be useful to one person because I sought out this information. To just see somebody share their experience with me on the internet, that would give me a form of succor. But I didn't find any. So yeah, this is the story. I will show you pictures on when I get to the airport and everything that happens in the airport, navigating Lagos airport. I am not a travel person, but I'm going to document this process anyways. Anyway, that's just the video. Yeah, see you in the next one. Do have a good one. I'm rooting for you. Bye.